Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new video. So I'm sure a lot of people have seen this because this went just fucking crazy. Even CNN I think reported on it. But Netflix is kind of under fire because of Dave Chappelle's new special. The biggest thing people are mad about is the fact that he made transgender jokes, and everyone is calling him transphobic now. And I'll get into that in a moment. But I'm going to show a video in a moment that kind of just shows how like crazy out of hand this is getting. And also I'm going to talk about just kind of how hypocrisy is such a big thing on both sides in this case. But here's a quick clip of the people that are protesting in front of Netflix.
Why is he breaking my sign? Why is he breaking my sign? Don't have free speech rights? Don't have free speech rights as well as you? Oh, look, there's such a... He's got a weapon! He's got a weapon! He's got a weapon!
Yeah, this shit is so fucking stupid. It's like if I'm holding a glass bottle and somebody breaks it and it's just left with like shards in my hand and somebody says I have a weapon. It's not his fault that you decide to break the fucking stick.
Yes, and leave. There's my weapon.
We're not trying to have any discussion.
I'm not discussing anything.
You're trying not to have any discussion.
I'm just here to say that jokes are funny, people. Dave Chappelle is a funny guy. I love Dave.
This video is a pretty good example of the hypocrisy though. They're all out here protesting, right? They don't like what Dave Chappelle did. They're speaking their minds, and they have every right to do so. But the fact that they decided to destroy his sign and kick him out of that area, they wouldn't let him back in. It's pretty clear that they didn't. That in of itself isn't fair. So I can't speak for this whole mob of people, but for that large group that thought that it was okay to completely just push this guy out of that circle and not let him, speak his mind, just like they were, it's fucked up and it's just hypocritical. Anyways, I'll get into the stuff that Netflix posted on Twitter, and I'll explain how they're also in the wrong. So here it says, the trans employee resource group at Netflix is planning a company-wide walkout on October 20th in protest of remarks made by joint CEO Ted Sarandos regarding Dave Chappelle's recently released comedy special, The Closer. LGBTQ activists say Chappelle made a number of anti-trans comments in that special. Ted Sarandos said he should have led with a lot more humanity in his internal communication about Dave Chappelle's The Closer. He then says, when we think about this challenge, we have to entertain the world. Part of that means you've got an audience with various tastes, various sensibilities, various beliefs. You really can't please everybody or the content would be pretty dull. Now there's quite a bit to unpack out of this. First off, regarding the transgender employee that was fired, they were the one to stage the walkout, and I'm assuming that's why Netflix just tried to dump them, but they were immediately taken back because I think they realized the mistake they made. And also I would agree with Ted Sarandos' last comment that I just read, but he's full of shit, and so is Netflix, because they've taken down other movies that have been very controversial as well, and decide to keep Dave Chappelle's up. But in my opinion, I think everything they put on Netflix should stay there, except for Cuties, because that was a disgusting fucking movie, and that has nothing to do with free speech. Regardless of that, I think both sides are in the wrong. I think both of them are making a mistake here, because neither of them are practicing what they preach. The only person I'll defend here is Dave Chappelle. Now, his skit went completely split down the middle. People hated it, and other people just fucking loved it. I watched his skit, and I did not think it was bad at all. And the reason being is because I could tell when he was joking and when he was not. But all of the jokes he made about transgender people were just completely taken out of context. And there's even a comment where he says that LGBTQ members are too sensitive. And people might not like this, but they proved him right. But the thing I find stupid is that people draw a line when it comes down to the transgender jokes. Dave made jokes about getting the coronavirus and killing thousands of people. He made jokes about white people. He made jokes about black people. He made jokes about Asian people. In the past, he's made jokes about women. But even then, he still had to clarify that he does not hate any of these people. And I hate to state the obvious, but after all, he is a comedian. He gets paid to make fun of everyone. If you had to draw a line in comedy and limit yourself on what kind of jokes you could make, comedy would just be completely fucking dead. Thing is, I guarantee that a huge portion of the people that are protesting against his special didn't even watch it. Because after making all of these jokes, he even clarifies that he doesn't hate any of these people and any of the groups that he's made fun of. I'll even show a clip where he clarifies this.
Any of you who have ever watched me know that I have never had a problem with transgender people.
He also even tells an anecdote about a story he had where he made friends with somebody who was transgender and they were very close with him and they ended up passing away. But all of this is overlooked solely because he made jokes that offended these people. I just think it's a little dumb that he made jokes about white people, black people, coronavirus killing thousands of people, but for some reason this is the one that sets everybody off. I hate to sound like a broken record because I know everybody says this, but comedy is subjective. What you find funny and what I find funny might be completely fucking different. Personally, I don't like Amy Schumer. I think her jokes are absolutely fucking terrible. They suck, in my opinion. But there's people who love her jokes. There's people who find her fucking hilarious, and that is completely okay. If she made jokes saying that all men were dumb poopy heads who only talk with their penis, would I like that? Probably not. But at the end of the day, it's her opinion. It's her right to joke about it. And same goes with Dave Chappelle. Regardless, I thought his show was funny. It's not his best, for sure. I think he's definitely had better, but I still enjoyed it. Despite that, I think both Netflix and a good portion of the protesters are hypocrites. Anyways, I know this was a bit of a longer video and I'm kind of all over the place, but I just wanted to talk about this for a little bit. Regardless, if you enjoyed, thank you for watching and come back for the next.